Hi guys. Today we're going to be talking about our Collagraph gesture prints project. Our objectives are demonstrate knowledge of the Collagraph style of printmaking, and then we're going to create a unique Collagraph print by collaging gesture drawings using pattern and repetition, and we're also be adding some mixed media to it. So first, words worth knowing: Collagraph. A collagraph is a printmaking technique where different materials are glued to a printmaking plate, which is often thin wood or cardboard, and then inked. So you can use this with other printmaking processes and mixed media. So you can see on that top one, it's just cardboard, and then they have fabric and yarn. So you can pretty much use anything that has a texture to ink and then stamp. So it's a pretty unique process. I really like it. But due to the delicate nature of a plate like this, you're usually only going to do a small varied addition. So just a couple. So for our gesture collagraph process, here are the steps we're going to do. You're going to choose 1 to 3 drawings from your gesture drawings that you've done. You're going to trace them. You're going to create a stencil. You're going to glue them on tagboard, cardboard, and make a plate. You're going to ink your plate and print. And then you're going to embellish your prints with pastel. Then you're going to sign it appropriately and turn it in. And then last step is always to reflect on your work. So first you're going to trace and create. So out of all the gesture drawings you've done, I want you to choose 1 to 3. You can even trace 3 and end up not using them, but just so you could see the options you have. So you're going to use tracing paper and then trace around your gesture to create a solid outline. So you can see my examples here. I have a lot of gestural lines and stuff. I'm not using those. I'm just creating that overall shape, a silhouette, if you will. And then you're going to create stencils out of these. So you're going to cut out your tracings and trace them on construction paper or tagboard. You want to make multiples of these. Don't just make one, because we're going to actually be gluing these. So make multiples. You can also double layer the stencils to create more definition in the final print. And what I mean by that is you have one stencil you've cut out and then glue another on top. So do like a double layer of paper. So here are some examples that I made. I ended up just doing one of my poses just for quickness, so I can make an example for you guys. But you could also cut around and use the negative space like I did in some of those. So once you have some cutouts, you're going to create a plate. So I'm going to give you a piece of tagboard or cardboard, depending on what we have around. And then you're going to create layers. So again, if you want to build up a stencil, do multiple layers of paper. If you want, you can cut out other shapes or add other elements that you find around to enhance your plate. And then pay attention to pattern and repetition. How can you repeat this shape, this gesture over and over? Maybe you flip it, maybe you overlap it. How are you spacing it? So I want to look at your final print and see some pattern and repetition in there. So you're going to glue your stencils. This is Mod Podge. You are going to use a crappy brush. You are not going to use a nice brand new brush because this will ruin your brush. So you just create a layer and you want to layer it back to front. So whatever is underneath, glue first and then glue on top. And then you should have a little bit of a raised effect on your plate, and that will be what will create an interesting collagraph. And then let it completely dry. And you can see in mine, I've added a couple shapes in the corner just for fun. So inking. You can choose 1 or more colors. You can mix colors on your plexiglass. You can just do 1 color and then make another stripe of another color on the plate. Anything goes. Just make sure when you're choosing colors that they're colors that are analogous or colors that blend well together so you don't get mud if that's not what you're looking for. And then once you do that, please use the registration tool just so you get a nice 1/2 inch border. And then remember, you put your plate up into the corner, and then there's another corner where you put your paper in, and then you really use the little press, really flatten it and go over it in circles to make sure that the ink really adheres to the paper. And then I'll have also different sorts of colors of paper. So experiment, make a bunch. You can wipe off the plate and try new colors on different papers. So you want a variety of prints to choose from to work on your final print. And I really enjoy printing this on black and darker colors. So you can see here how I lined it up in the corner of the registration tool, and then the paper is in the other corner. So it'll give me a border. So here's my example on black, and then here's my example on white. So I wasn't really feeling the white one. And then embellish. So I'm going to give you some soft pastels, which are like chalk pastels. And you can add contrast and emphasis. You could even do color pencil if you want. It's really up to you, but I want you to create some emphasis and some contrast in your plate. And then you could even work on a couple of them and then choose your best one as your final image. And then finally, to sign it correctly, you want to sign it as an official print because this is a print. And then you're going to glue it to a second piece of paper so it has a nice border. And then take an image and turn it in, and then we'll hang it up. So for your signature, it's going to be an addition of 1 out of 1 because it's just one print that we're making, one final print. Give it a title, and then your signature. And then I also put a little 24 at the end. All right, I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with this. This is a really fun process, and it's really free. So if you have any questions in class, as always, please ask me, and I can't wait to see your work.